Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to the marketplace. Coming up this afternoon, Springfield announces significant flow of commercial oil after fresh works on its Afina Well. Also coming up, Cocoa Board transitions from using topsoil to a new soilless medium for raising cocoa seedlings, a move set to revolutionize cocoa cultivation in Ghana.
It's to train our officers on how to use the products in the production of cocoa seed, because they are used to the use of topsoil. This one is soilless medium. That is a medium produced from cocoa husk.
Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana ends 3-day economic review with a decision on a new rate expected to be announced tomorrow. My name is Darryl Carl. Thanks for being with us. Details coming up. And thanks for staying with us, everyone. First up, exploration firm Springfield has established that its Afina oil well has significant commercial flow to aid full-scale production. Here's more in this report.
Springfield is coming out with this update following a directive from an international arbitration court as a result of the unitization directive from the government of Ghana. Based on the directive, Springfield was supposed to carry out fresh appraisals to establish whether there is any link to the wells operated by the Italian oil firm Eni, as well as the flow levels. Now, based on the works done by Springfield and the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, one oil well in that area can produce up to 12,000 of crude oil a day, a move that can now aid for commercial production. But sources say that the decision will be dependent on the government of Ghana. This is because the unitization directive has still not been withdrawn, moving to work with Springfield based on fresh development.
Modern technology permeating every sector of the economy, the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors has charged players in the downstream petroleum sector to invest in technology as part of operations. The Chamber says investing in digital monitoring system, predictive analysis, and other areas will ensure players stay on top of safety issues and minimize risk. Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber, Dr. Patrick Kwekufori, was speaking as part of Tema Tank Farm's 2,000 Days Without LTI Akbong. Correspondent Kwame Yanka has more.
Tema Tank Farm achieving 2,000 days without lost time injury is equivalent to operating in the last 5 years without any incidents, which is said to be the first in the industry. This did not come on a silver platter, with every department of the organization working towards this as safety remains at the core of its operations. Celebrating this milestone, Chief Executive Officer of Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, Dr. Patrick Kwekufori, has challenged the company to continue creating an environment where safety remains a priority. He shared the need to empower team, ensure transparency, recognition, with a call to players in the industry to invest in technology aimed at improving safety.
As we operate in a rapidly evolving industry, leaders must embrace technological advancement that enhance safety. Consequently, investment in digital monitoring system, predictive analysis, training stimulation are no longer optional but essential. Additionally, fostering the partnership with regulatory institutions, the tax authorities, and other allied institutions to ensure that international best practices that ensures safety remains a collective goal. Today, Tema Tank Farm has set a shining example for all of us. Everything going on today is a clear indication that you've done extremely well.
Terminal Director of Tema Tank Farm, Eden Boni, says 2,000 days without lost time injury has been achieved through a collective effort of staff and other stakeholders.
The terminal was inaugurated in 2012, and then with 70,000 cubic capacity. And then for the span of 12 years, we've added 3 times the storage capacity since 2012. And to be able to do this when the terminal is live during operation is really a major milestone. And this is a testament to the commitment of safety from the entire staff and stakeholders. We are dealing with petroleum products, and for stakeholders and customers to know that we've been able to do this for 2,000 days without any lost time injury is comforting, that you know that you come to work and you leave work with your 10 fingers and your 10 toes.
As part of its corporate social responsibility, Tema Tank Farm has constructed a library and a court for Pong to promote education and justice respectively. Enoch Chumesi is the engineer for the project.
We hope and pray that it is going to serve as a symbol of the collaboration, the wonderful collaboration we've had between the people of Pong and then also our organization. Because, in the petroleum industry, if people from outside do not understand what you do, the tendency for, accidents can also happen from external sources.
Tema Tank Farm says, with collaboration with various stakeholders, a lot can be achieved in the years ahead.
All right, turning to some innovation in the cocoa sector, the Ghana Cocoa Board has transitioned from using topsoil to a new soilless medium for raising cocoa seedlings, a move set to revolutionize cocoa cultivation in Ghana. The innovative medium, Miracle Grow Potting Mix, developed by the Ghanaian agricultural technology firm Quest Fiber, in partnership with Atmos Logistics, is composed of organic materials fortified with nutrients. The substance is expected to replace topsoil across Cocoa Board's seed production centers, offering optimal conditions for cocoa seedling growth, enhance yields, and foster maturation. Edwin Kofisian reports Cocoa Board has been training its technical officers on the new technology at Achimtafo in the eastern region.
The new soilless medium boasts of high moisture retention, proper aeration, and improved seedling survival rates. Additionally, it will be used with recyclable receptacles, replacing the single-use polythene bags previously employed. Cocoa Board officials believe the soilless technology has the potential to mitigate environmental degradation caused by illegal mining and topsoil extraction, ensuring more sustainable agricultural practices. Deputy Executive Director of Cocoa Board Seed Production Division, Dr. Alfred Arthur, expressed confidence in the new medium.
Management thought it wise to assemble all regional managers, all cocoa station officers and technical officers at the head office to be here and learn about the product first and then also how to use it. Basically, that's why we are here today, is to train our officers on how to use the products in the production of cocoa because they are used to the use of topsoil. This one is soilless medium. That is a medium produced from cocoa husk and then fortified with slow release fertilizer. So you have to show them how to use that product and then the benefits thereof.
He emphasized that the transition aligns with Cocoa Board's commitment to sustainable cocoa production and improving the livelihoods of farmers. To ensure a seamless rollout, Cocoa Board has organized training for all regional managers, cocoa station officers, and technical officers. Participants were introduced to the properties of the soilless medium and its application in the field. Evans Eshen, Administrative Officer of Quest Fiber Limited, highlighted the importance of the training.
This is a new innovation we've introduced, but there are so many benefits we can derive from the use of Miracle Grow potting mix. But if we don't train the people on best practices, we might lose the benefit we intended to get. So this training is to help them know how to apply the material on the field so that we can get the derived benefit we intended to get.
The training concluded with a practical session led by Michael Obin Opoku, the Oyoko Cocoa Station officer. He detailed the steps for preparing and using the medium.
After that one, you dig your hole. You just check the size of the substrate. You dig a hole, just take the substrate up with the ceilings, place it in the cover it up, and just water.
The Cocoa Research Institute of Ghana certified Miracle Grow potting mix in 2019, endorsing its suitability for cocoa seedling production. Researchers have confirmed the product's ability to nourish plants continuously for up to 6 months, further validating its effectiveness. Reporting for Joy Business, Kofi Sian, Achimtafo.
Now, the Ghana Consulting Engineers Association is calling for a holistic approach in addressing Ghana's developmental challenges. President of the association, Engineer Magnus Leslie Lincoln-Kwashi, urged respective governments to build resilient cities for sustainability. He spoke to Joy Business at the 7th annual conference of the association.
The theme, Sustainable Urbanization in Ghana, Building Resilient Cities for a Better Life, focuses on a critical need to develop urban spaces that can adapt to rapid population growth, environmental changes, and economic demand. Speaking to Joy Business, President of the association, Engineer Magnus Lincoln-Kwashi, said government should explore strategies for promoting resilient, inclusive, and eco-friendly urbanization.
So many people live outside the capital, but they do business here. So what it means is that we need to be able to put in place systems that is able to manage the growing population, which impact on our daily lives. And so it is important to ensure that there is balance between transportation and land use. And we have to do this sustainably. What it means is that we need to be able to do this in a way that we are able to minimize the impacts on the people who live within the city. And I think at the core of this is that we need to promote what we call the quality of life of our citizens. How do our people live? You know, how do our people travel? How do our people have access to water? How do our people have access to education, health, and all of these things? And so sustainability broadly covers the entirety of what we offer our citizens to contribute to the quality of life.
On this spot, former Chief Town Planning Officer Richard Akwa-Harrison emphasized the need for sustainable planning to balance modernization with cultural preservation, including investment in green infrastructure, affordable housing, and efficient public transport systems.
You don't plan by committee. You don't do what we are going to do by a committee. You set up, you give it to a consultant, or you set up a multidisciplinary task force for them to actually do it. You don't organize a committee and we do it by committee. So after the first meeting, I quit. Oh, and Saite was there, and Frank Taki and all these over there, CNK Boating. I quit.
The theme also considers the importance of policy frameworks and community engagement in creating cities that are equitable and prepared to withstand climate risk.
And you're watching The Marketplace. We are taking a short break. When we come back, we'll have business and politics. We'll be discussing the decision by the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana on the policy rate, an announcement that we expect tomorrow, and how that could impact voters' choices ahead of the elections just 9 days away. Stay with us. And welcome back to The Marketplace, time for business and politics. So the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana has ended its meeting aimed at reviewing the economy with an announcement expected tomorrow. It's the last announcement for the year, and with just a few days, 9 days to the elections, will it influence the voting pattern of the business community? Joining me on Zoom is Professor William Pipa, Associate Professor of Finance at the Andrews University. Thank you for joining us on the marketplace. I want to first start off with what you figure would be the decision by the MPC when that press briefing gets underway tomorrow, and what would be the implication?
Your viewers. So if we look at the trend of the data that we have in Ghana, by considering the producer price index, inflation rate impact, we've seen that from October, November, I think it started from September, the producer price index have been going up, which has led to a slight increase in inflation rate from 20% to now around 22.1%. The producer price index for November is around 28.8%. So if you follow the normal trend of using data to predict the monetary policy rate, in my view, we expect the government to either maintain the 27% of the monetary policy rate. If the Bank of Ghana to decide to do a cut, which may range between 50 basis points to 200 basis points, it may defeat the purpose of using monetary policy rate to fight inflation, because you've seen the inflation rate slightly moving up.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about inflation. It's been a struggle this year. I mean, it was high to the point we started seeing a decline. The city, volatile, going up and down, fluctuated. These issues affected the economy on the whole. Is going to also affect or inform the choices that the voters make ahead of the elections, just 9 days away. How would you rate the central bank's approach, the monetary measures implemented to sort of stabilize things?
I mean, so I'll take this back to somewhere 2022, where our inflation rate was up the roof. We went to the hyperinflation to 53 around December. And then the monetary policy rate started increasing the monetary policy rate to make sure they bring it down. It worked. We've seen a drastic reduction, about half, as at January 2024. 25%. So it worked well, but it slowed down in the whole period of 2024. So we see it being hovering around 18% in July, as for inflation, and then started going up again in August. So if you look at that period, the monetary policy rate was pegged at 29% from January to August without any change. So the two was really working, but we all know the trend during the political season, the peak of it, which is September, October, November, December, as we have seen. We've seen all the political parties spending a lot, and that means that inflation situation pressures will be in the system, and that is what we are witnessing. So the two has worked a little bit, not let's say a little bit, half, let me put it that way, by bringing it down from 50.3% in 2022 to the current situation of 22%. It worked, but it has not been all rosy, because we're still suffering with liquidity pressures in terms of foreign currency, as you mentioned. Our cedi has not been as strong as we expect it to be. For us, we understand, but for the government deferment of interest payment on Euro bonds and the rest, which has been helpful in controlling the pressures on the cedi. That's why we've seen what is happening. So in 2025, when we start making payment on the Euro bonds, we may see that the cedi may weaken because if we don't have the buffer in terms of foreign currency. This is what's going to happen. I like the policy directive by the central bank by making sure that now all the fintechs bring in foreign currency. So the actions that they've taken against tap send and the rest will serve as a good measure. So in a way, the government will get the foreign currencies, which will be able to support any foreign currency claims that comes for payment.
Yeah, but the concern over time has been that the fiscal measures have not been, I know it's to use the word, appropriate enough to back the work that the central bank is doing. How much of a price do you think that the government will pay for this?
We started talking about this from 2021, that the government must be more disciplined in cutting down spending. During that period, the government did not listen. Then we moved into bringing in other projects that we still kept on putting so much money in the system. Most of the strategies the government announced, we have not seen the benefit of it in terms of reduction in expenditure. We've seen a little bit of revenue mobilization going up, but then we noticed that companies started complaining that tax agencies, the internal revenue were not being friendly to them. During the election period, we have seen that they have slowed down the mode of operation from internal revenue because it has an implication on whoever wins the election. And so revenue streams in the third quarter have not gone as projected. Then also government have gone on spending a little bit, especially to make sure they complete some projects. These are some of the major issues. And they are, as you said, government must make sure they win election. So they are doing what they have to do. I'm sure we may see a lot of discipline in 2025 because then any government who wins will have to make sure that we create room for the interest claim that comes.
We'll be watching just 9 days away, and I know you're enjoying a holiday, so happy Thanksgiving holiday in the US. Thank you, Professor Williams. I appreciate your time. That's the Marketplace, everyone. More news on our website, myjournline.com/business. Thanks for watching. We'll be back same time tomorrow.